Hey everybody, welcome back to Red Mug Music. I'm Brian, and today we're going to continue the Van Halen studio album ranking countdown. And today we're talking about the ranking number 8. This album is an album that a lot of people complain about. I didn't know a whole lot about it based on my age. The first album that I really heard and paid attention to and noticed was 1984. So this one came out before that, and I wasn't really paying attention because I was just too young. But ever since then, I have learned that this album is, not only is it a really good album, this is really Van Halen at some of their best musically. This album is a classic album. Now, a lot of people complain, and I'm going to give it away here, but a lot of people complain because there's just a lot of covers on the album, but there's a reason for that. But the originals on this album are some of the best that they've ever done and scream classic vintage Van Halen. So you can't just pass over this album because you think it's poppy or they got away with something by creating covers. I mean, it's ridiculous. So 5 songs on this album are actually covers. I don't think I knew that, but I mean, I knew somewhere, but some of these I had no clue, and I'll tell you which one of those are when we get to them. But the album, even though it's got 12 tracks, it comes in at, I think, right over 31 minutes. So it's actually a very short, very tight album. And to just go ahead and give it away, the name of the album is Diver Down. Diver Down came out in 1982, right before the 1984 album that I was talking about. And I probably heard it on the radio and probably liked it, but just wasn't paying attention to music at the time. I mean, not to them, because I think I was always paying attention to music. Actually, the sad part about it is the music that I was probably listening to the most is just what other people around me were playing. So I had my sister playing Leif Garrett and Village People and ABBA and disco prior to this, and then so I had that, or Sean Cassidy, if you remember Sean Cassidy. Oh my God, that just wasn't really my kind of music, but that's what I was, that's what was playing around me. Then I had my parents' music, which was like ZZ Top and Don Williams, and actually one of my favorites today, Bob Seger. So I didn't know Van Halen yet, but I was able to go back and listen to the album, and Diver Down is absolutely one of my favorites. We'll get into it, and then I'll tell you more about how I feel about the album. Now, the first song is Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Now, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to put it out there. I had no idea that this was a Kinks cover. Apparently, Van Halen likes the Kinks. But if you go back and listen to the original, they definitely stayed true to the Kinks version, their original version. But they definitely added a lot of... they made it their own. And that's the thing about this album, about the covers. You got to understand that even though they did covers, Van Halen completely owned all of these. And they didn't just, they weren't being lazy, and they didn't lazily create they didn't just say, okay, we're going to play it the exact same way and then throw it on the album, and everybody's going to be okay with that because we're Van Halen. They didn't do that. They made these songs their own, and this one by far was made their own. It's just a really fun track, and the beginning of the song, actually, I heard is the intro. The very beginning is the end of Secrets played backwards. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, that was track 1. Okay, track number 2, Hang 'Em High. Hang 'Em High. Hang 'Em High is one of the songs that Van Halen wrote for this album, and this is actually perfect, true classic Van Halen form. It's got the double kick. I don't know if you've noticed when Van Halen, or not Van Halen, but David Lee Roth does a fantastic job with the vocals. And sounds like they he not double tracked the vocals, but I think he just sang the verses twice and then tracked those together. And I think that has a really good sound, but it's got a really good Eddie Van Halen solo, and just another really great, fun song. Now, track number 3 is Cathedral. Cathedral is an Eddie Van Halen instrumental. I think it's kind of early on in the album to put it, but it's there and it's fine. This is a song that Eddie Van Halen had been playing for a year already, and he just wanted to put it on an album. And all it is, it's a guitar. Now, it's called Cathedral because he played it with a guitar, but he wanted to give it like the organ sound like you would hear in a cathedral. So he used his volume button a lot, just up and down, up and down, up and down, and recorded the song. And this is one of the staples of in their concert. So this one was kind of important to have on an album, and I really enjoy it. Now, song number 4 is called Secrets. I already talked about it in the first song, how the end of Secrets is at the beginning of Where Have All the Good Times Gone, played backwards. But Secrets is a much more, it's a very calm, laid back groove. It's very nice, it's very enjoyable. And again, this is another original that Van Halen wrote for this album. But if you really think about it, it kind of sounds like a song that David Lee Roth would have had on one of his solo albums. So I thought that was pretty cool. So this song screams David Lee Roth, and it's a beautiful song. All right, track number 5 is, actually I'll group track number 5 and track number 6 together. 5 is Intruder, and 6 is Oh Pretty Woman. Now we'll start with Intruder. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Intruder is an intro to Oh Pretty Woman. And the reason why they wrote that song is because when they released their video for Oh Pretty Woman, they shot the video, and then it was much longer than the song, and they didn't want to edit it down. So what they did is they had this idea to just record more. So they wanted to add something on the beginning. Now this, which is Intruder, this was more or less written by David Lee Roth, and it's got a little bit more of a, I don't want to say creepy, but just kind of a haunting sound to it. Just a lot of squeals and synthesizers played by David Lee Roth, and the squeals brought to you by Eddie Van Halen and his guitar. And it's just kind of this long, drawn-out intro. And they only did it just to fill the gap, fill the void for the video. But one of my favorite parts, and I didn't really think about this until I heard somebody else talk about it, is one of the things that's so beautiful about it is Alex Van Halen and how he plays the drums. He kind of has that intro kind of drum beat going, and he keeps it through the whole song. And then once Pretty Woman hits, the drum beat changes, to Oh Pretty Woman. And I mean, Oh Pretty Woman's got one of the best hooks on the whole album. I mean, this is a really, really, really good song. Of course, it's a Roy Orbison cover. Intruder and Oh Pretty Woman kind of remind me of Pink Floyd's Happiest Days of Our Lives and Another Brick in the Wall. How one song leads or bleeds into the next. I feel like they're both kind of necessary to listen to as a whole to get the whole experience. I think Intruder and Oh Pretty Woman need to be listened to the exact same way. So, but Oh Pretty Woman, again, is a Roy Orbison cover, but this is definitely one of my favorite songs by Van Halen, and one of the best songs that they've done, one of the better covers that they've done. So I like it a whole lot. Okay, next song, track number 7, is Dancing in the Streets. Now this song was performed by Martha Reeves and the Vandellas back in 1964, 62 or 64, I think 64. And then Van Halen did it here in 1982 on Diver Down. And this is actually the song that David Lee Roth approached Eddie Van Halen after Fair Warning and said, we need to put out another song. You know, it's the beginning of the year. Let's start out with a new single. Let's just let everybody know that we're alive and just throw out Dancing in the Streets. Well, Eddie Van Halen really didn't know how to wrap his head around how he was going to recreate that song, and he just couldn't really come up with any kind of a guitar riff, so it really didn't work out. So that's why they went to Oh Pretty Woman. But later on, Dancing in the Streets was even performed again by David Bowie, by the greats David Bowie and Mick Jagger, which I think isn't as good as Van Halen's version. And actually, I think Van Halen's version is better than the original with Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. Since Eddie Van Halen wasn't really able to create a nice guitar sound for this song, they played it with a synthesizer. So this is a very interesting song because it was done with a synthesizer, and it was done really well. It's a really fun song to listen to, and I think we're still listening to it today, just like Oh Pretty Woman. You know, these songs have gone through, you know, the test of times, and they're still as strong today, or even more so than back then. And this is really good music. Now the next song, again, it's going to be two songs together. It's the intro, Little Guitars intro, and then you have Little Guitars. Little Guitars is Eddie Van Halen playing kind of a Mexican sounding, it's a Mexican sound that he's copying from another performer that played the same way. But I know Eddie Van Halen said he just wanted to learn how to play like this guy did, and he just really couldn't do it, which was I can't imagine. Eddie Van Halen can't play like another guitarist. So he says when he plays, he's using the pick. He's cheating. He says he used the pick, and he's doing a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff like that. I mean, it's just Eddie Van Halen doing it Eddie Van Halen way. Other people may not be able to play it the way Eddie Van Halen plays it. I don't know. But that was the intro to the song. But it had a Mexican sound to it. So David Lee Roth, when he wrote the lyrics, he wrote, he said Senorita. And he just kind of kept that feel. But Little Guitars is probably my favorite track on the whole album. And the intro into the chorus, I don't know if it's a bridge or what that is, but he says catch as catch can, which means, I guess it just means you do the best with what you have. Now, I very often forget that's what he's saying, and when I listen to the song, I'm so confused, like, what is he saying? I don't get it. But that he's saying catch as catch, and then catch as catch can, which is a phrase. And I don't understand it. So if anybody gets why he's saying that in the context of this song, comment down below and let us all know what exactly is going on. What is he saying? Is he saying he's just, this senorita is the best he's got around, so okay, we'll go with that? Or I don't get it. I don't know what he's talking about. So comment down below. Help me out. Okay, the next song is called Big Bad Bill. I have to say that slow because I can't say it fast. This is like the 20th take of me trying to say the name of that song. I can't say it. Big Bad Bill. This song, I'm going to be honest, I had no idea this was a cover. To me, this sounded like, this is pure David Lee Roth. This is the kind of stuff that he likes to do. And I'm glad they did it. I mean, the song shows so much versatility. Who else do you know that can play, songs like Hang 'Em High or Secrets, or even, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, and Big Bad Bill on the same album and pull it off as good as Van Halen can? I mean, the first band that comes to mind, actually right now the only band that comes to mind that's able to have this diverse array of songs on one album and completely pull it off would be the Beatles. Because you have Paul McCartney, pulling in the old style music, that you can kind of hear on the old phonograph with the crackling and stuff like that, and they pulled it off. Well, Van Halen can do it too. Like, name me somebody else in this genre, in the the hair metal, hard rock, bands that can play songs like they played on this album, and then play Big Bad Bill. And I say they pull it off because when people hear it on the album, they listen to it. They don't be like, oh, it's crap. I'm sure there's some of you that do. And those of you are probably the ones that don't like this album. And that doesn't count. I'm just saying, if you like this album and you're listening to all the songs on it and you get to this one and you still listen to it, they pulled it off. But, this song was written in 1924. I think Leon Redbone performed it at one point, but this is classic David Lee Roth. This is the kind of stuff that he does and does well. Okay, the next song is The Full Bug. The Full Bug, again, is another classic, another original on this album, where Van Halen is just doing great things. This song has like a bluesy type, kind of like a prerequisite to Hot for Teacher, with how they play the drums. This is a really, really good song. It definitely doesn't disappoint. And that's why I said at the beginning, even they did all the covers, but the songs that they did, wrote originally for this album, they're all good. They're absolutely all good. So there's really nothing to complain about. And The Full Bug here is just one of those songs that's just so amazing. And the last track, which is song number 12, is Happy Trails. Again, this is Van Halen being humorous or being funny. They're having fun. This is a band that really has fun, together. And they did at one point. But Happy Trails, they thought would be a really nice way. Again, this is considered a cover, but this is a song that they thought would be a good idea to end the album with, which was perfect. And they also ended concerts with this song, so that was perfect also. What a fun band! I kind of wish I was able to go back and watch them in concert pre-1984 to kind of see what they looked like. I've seen Van Halen. Actually, I saw Van Hagar in concert after the For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album came out, so I saw them supporting that album, but I never saw them with David Lee Roth. But Happy Trails is just another one of those old classic songs that they pulled off again. No, you can't tell me that you listen to the whole album and then when you get to Happy Trails, you turn it off. You listen to the song because it's another good song. And this song, plus all the other tracks on the album, just equal classic, in your face Van Halen that is some of the best musically written songs that they've done. And even the covers that they did are proof that they're able to that their particular sound that they offer into their albums and release out to the world, that kind of a sound inserted into these old classics is perfect. I would rather have Diver Down than not. And I think people bitch way too much about Diver Down than they should. So overall, this album as a whole is just, it's a party. It's so much fun. The vocals are fantastic. The backing vocals are fantastic. The musicianship is fantastic. All the tracks are extremely listenable, and the fact that it's only 31 minutes long, it's a little short, but it's so easy to get through this album. So again, listen to the album, give it a chance, and if you already like it, let's listen to it again and just enjoy it. But anyway, that is my number 8 album on the Van Halen album ranking series that I'm doing. Be sure that you're subscribing to the channel, and also that you're clicking on the bell so whenever the number 7 album comes out, you'll be the first to know. And if you haven't watched any of the previous one, go back and check them out. I'll put links down below, and throughout the video I've been throwing up links to all the different ones before this, so check those out. And also, you have to be a subscriber, which I'm going to release another video with a lot more details. It's a Van Halen vinyl record. It's sitting on my front step right now, and I'm going to give that away to a subscriber. And but more details will come in the next video, so just stay tuned for that. Again, be a subscriber, click on the bell, wait for that, and you might win a new record by Van Halen. I'm on Instagram at Red Mug Music. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Red Mug Music. Today was so much fun. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys later.